Yo, welcome back to another video. This is a Magic Warden PvP build. It's a little bit similar to what I ran last time, but I'm going to go over the character screen, the gear, the skills, the CP, all that. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, and it would go a long way to like and comment on the video. Alright, so let's just do it. So, the character screen, we have, hold on, let me heal up real quick. So on the character screen, we have 33,000 magic, 35,000 magic, 32,000 health, 13,000 stamina, 1,600 magic recovery before a potion, and my Betty, 3,600 spell damage, almost 10,000 penetration, 32% crit, and for resistances, we are sitting at around 25 and 24, okay? So not terrible. Not the tankiest build ever, but it hits pretty hard and has a lot of sustain, so it's really nice. We are also running 15 points into magic and 49 into health. Down here we look at, we are a Breton. We're running Witch Mother's Potent Brew, and we have on the Apprentice. We are also a Vampire Stage 3. So the gear, this is pretty straightforward. It's nothing that I haven't really used in the past, but we're using the Master Ice Staff on the front, mainly because this is just good. I mean, it makes you do a lot of damage. It gives you a ton of healing power. I mean, 600 free spell damage for one item is just, it's really, you can't pass that up, especially on a Warden where you get extra frost damage when you use a Frost Staff. So it's just really good. And then we're using a poison, crown lethal poison. You can use any poison you want, but this is just the one I have. So on the back bar, we are using a rallying cry. So what I would say is I would probably make this staff into defending. I'd probably do defending just for the resistances, but the healing's not bad by any means. It's gonna make your heals hit really hard. And then we're using a Berserker glyph to get the spell damage. But if you don't know what this set does, it gives crit chance, it gives magic, it gives crit chance again, and then while Battle Spirit is active. So whenever you're in a PvP area, any critical heal is going to cause you and everyone around you to get a bunch of spell damage and crit resist. Each group member is going to lower that amount. It has 100% uptime, which is really nice, but the only downside is that if you're playing in Cyrodiil, that this set's not going to get a ton of value because you have a bunch of people around you usually. So I mean, it is what it is, but it's still really good. I mean, 300 spell damage and 1,600 crit resist is just really like hard to pass up, especially in BGs where this set really shines. But I mean, most of you already know what this set does because 95% of the ESO population uses it. But yeah, but it's a very good set, and I am using it. So here we have Kajar's Nightmare. Now Kajar's Nightmare is actually my CC. I haven't been using CC on the actual build itself, so when I get scribing and I get that all leveled up, I plan on using the Frost Rune for the Fear, the one that makes you flee. So we'll see how that goes, but right now I'm using Kajar's Nightmare, and Kajar's Nightmare just, honestly, it just hits really hard. Like, it's really good with your burst combo. It kind of just works out a lot of the time to where it lands and hits really hard as you're doing your burst. Like, whenever I do get it to land with my Deep Fissure, I literally then, like, they just disintegrate, so it is good. So it gives spell damage, and then anytime you hit somebody with a light attack, it puts a stack every 0.5 seconds, so pretty much every single light attack. And then at 5 stacks, an undodgeable hand attacks your enemy. So the best part about it is it says undodgeable, so there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to get hit. You get knocked into the air, and you get stunned for 3 seconds. And if they can't be stunned, it's going to deal a lot of damage. So I don't know how much it actually does. If it does, that doesn't seem right. I don't know. It should do over 10k in PvP. But it's going to do about 10k if they can't be stunned. Now, the odds are most people are always on CC cooldown, the way I kind of look at it. Now, sometimes it will stun them. Like, it's not going to do damage if it stuns, but if it doesn't do damage, then it stuns, and you're still getting value out of it. So no matter what, you're still getting a ton of value. If you have somebody on CC immunity, then you're not going to stun them, and that's fine. like it's good. You're gonna do a lot of damage. So 95% of the time when you run into someone in a PvP fight, like in BGs or whatever, people are on CC cooldown because people are always spamming their CC. So most of the time you're going to get the damage out of it rather than the stun, which is good. So it's fine. So then enemies can then become immune to Kajar's Nightmare staff for 4 seconds. The damage scales on your spell damage or weapon damage. But yeah, so there's only a 4-second cooldown with this. And you can apply it to multiple targets, so it's just for each target, so it's really, really good. It just gives you a lot of value out of just one monster set. Like, you're getting damage and a stun in one monster set, which is really, really nice, because then I can use other skills. So, really nice. Our chest is Rallying Cry, because we're using Rallying Cry on the back bar, and then we have Kajar Nightmare Shoulder, and then our other 5-piece actually is Necropotence. Necropotence is really, really good. It just gives so much magic. Like, I'm at 35,000, which is, let's just say, it's a lot more than what people have been playing with in the recent maybe year in ESO. Like, for a long time I was running just straight up like procs, because everybody was running procs. Like, you know, whatever damage set was what people use, I tried to use. But I think max stat builds can actually be pretty viable at this point in the game. They're coming back, it seems like, kinda. And some of the new sets are really, really cool to run max stat stuff, so I'm going to try them out and see how it goes. But right now it's been working, and especially on Warden, where some other stuff's pretty expensive. So I can kind of just spam heals and spam shields and be really, really tanky, even though I'm wearing a lot of light armor. So far it's been good. But Necropotence just gives straight up magic. You get 3,000 from the 3 pieces, and then you get the extra 3,000 when you have a pet, and your pet is your Betty. So your Betty counts as a pet. The only downside to Necropotence is you got to have it up on both bars, but I'm okay with that. We are not using a mythic, so. But yeah, we're running 6 light. So yes, that sounds like a lot of light armor, but we're also getting a 10,000 flat pen, which is really, really nice. And you're getting a lot of recovery, and you're also getting a lot of reduced cost, so my skills are pretty cheap, meaning I can kind of spam forever. But yeah, so on the jewelry, we got a mixture of Rallying Cry and Necropotence. You go Infuse or Bloodthirsty on the jewelry if you want to transmute. That is your preference. But yeah, Rallying Cry all the time. Necropotence all the time, Rallying Cry on the back bar, and then adjust as you see fit. If you don't want to use a monster set, you don't have to. You could just slot out one of the shoulders and then just put on a mythic item. Like if you want to use Ring of Majesty to get a little bit more armor, that is totally your decision. So that is the gear. Alright, so the skills, I'm going to try to go fast here. Inner Light gives you 5% max magic, which makes you just hit a lot harder, and you get crit out of it, so that's really, really nice as well. Deep Fissure is your bread and butter skill, like always. It does so much damage. It does 10,000 into 14,000, which is just a lot, and then you're getting almost, you're getting 9,000 penetration, so it's crazy good. Here you get Major Expedition, immunity to snares, and you get Minor Berserk, so must-have skill. Fetcher Infected is a crazy, crazy strong dot, 18,000 magic damage, and then every other cast is 60% stronger, which is just crazy. Because if you just fight a target and you cast it twice on them, then they're going to be really, 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 they're screwed. It also applies Minor Vulnerability, so you're getting 10% extra damage from these 2 skills alone, literally 10% flat damage. And then you're getting another 12% from your this passive right here. 12% extra damage from that, so you're getting a lot of free damage actually. And then here we're getting we're using Frost Reach because we're using the Master Staff, and then this skill itself does 20,000 total damage, which only costs 2,200, but 20,000 total damage is just a lot of freaking damage. And then we're using Frost Clench, so we're applying the chilled status effect, and in Warden you do an extra 735 with your chill, so I think your chill does like 1,800 or something like that, so just add 1,800 to that, so you're doing 10,000 plus 12,000, so you're doing almost 23,000 damage with one skill that's your spammable. It's really good. Here we're using a Northern Storm, which Northern Storm absolutely hits like a truck. They buffed it in the recent patch, so it literally ticks for 7,000 a second, which is insane. It also slows people by 40%, and it also gives you 50 spell damage a second for 5 seconds, so yeah, you're getting a lot. You're getting, 250 spell damage just for having it, and then you get major protection on top of it. It's just an insane skill. If I'm fighting in a group fight, and I have, like, I'm waiting to just get my ult, and then I pop that. I literally go like 1v4, and I just melt the entire team. So, really good. On the back bar, we have Ice Forgers, must have. I use Radiating Regen here. This is the flex spot. I play a lot of BGs, and to be honest with you, the Radiating Regen racks up a ton of healing. So, number one, it makes me feel good. It feels like I'm helping my team. And number two, it's a really easy skill. Like, you can do something like Healing Ward or Leeching Vines. I guess Leeching Vines is another good option. But the problem with Vines is that it could apply to a teammate and not yourself, and then you're kind of screwed out of the buff. So I like Radiating Regen because it's healing everyone. I rack up like 700k healing just from this skill alone, which is crazy good. These two skills alone rack up so much healing, like, it's kind of insane. But yeah, Radiating Regen's solid. You could use Vigor. Vigor, you have a little bit low of a mana pool, that's why I'm not using it, but you can use it, so feel free. Here we have Budding Seeds. Now, I'm not using Polar Wind on this build because we're only running 32k health, so this skill is actually going to hit a lot harder. Heals for 13,000 before a crit. It also heals in the ground every second, and it also has a synergy where your teammate gets 12,000 over 5 seconds, so your teammates can essentially get like the 12,000 over 5 seconds plus the 13,000. You're getting like 25,000 healing for your team and this skill alone if they use the synergy. So like, it's an insane utility item. I just try to play like a hybrid in BGs where like I heal, I do damage, I do a little bit of everything, so I can do a lot of damage, but I'm also really tanky because of how strong my heals are, and then it heals my teammates as well, so it helps the team. The reason I use Budding Seeds is, number one, it's only 2,200. 2,200 might as well be a free skill compared to Polar Wind. That's 4,000. 4,000 is really, really expensive. So the only difference is Polar Wind's easier to use because you don't have to put it on the ground and then activate it. So it's easier to use, but it's literally more than, or it's like double the cost, which is a big difference. It also heals for 1,500 less, 1,600 less, which is a big deal. But it has a hot as well, which is nice. But overall, I like Budding Seeds better right now. I may change it later, but right now I like Budding Seeds. Here we're using Shimmering Shield. Like I said before, we're not using Crystal Slab on this build because we have Kaljar's Nightmare, so we use that for our CC. And that's simply because the Major Heroism is so powerful. Like, the reason I say that is because it synergizes really well with Healing Thicket, and I say that because Healing Thicket is 97, okay? It costs 97. I can literally spam this. If one single person attacks me with any projectiles, like a light attack or anything, I get like so much ultimate out of it. I've spammed this skill, or this ultimate, like 5 times in a fight. It's insane. So that's why I use what I use. Shimmering Shield is just nice. There's so much ult regen. You can like turn the tide of a fight. Like, I've used Healing Thicket and then used Northern Storm like 10 seconds later because like it's just so much ultimate regen. It's ridiculous. Here we're using Blue Betty. It's our damage buff and it's our cleanse. So we have to use this, of course, and it procs our Necropotence. So CP, we're using Salve of Renewal, so whenever you cleanse, it's going to heal you under the ground every 10 seconds. It's just something I've been trying out. It's okay. It might be stuff better, but this is what I'm using. And they're using Master at Arms, Backstabber, Ironclad, Bastion, Pain's Refuge, Fortified, and then Boundless Vitality. So yeah, that's what I'm running. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. Happy 4th of July. Peace out.